Greetings, Jedi traders. David here of TradingFibs.com to bring you the daily trend for week 24, June 16th, 2016. As always, please seek financial advisement when trading with your money, as these videos are for educational purposes only. Support your knowledge of the market, see what's going through my head on any given day. Always make sure you have a solid trading plan, and always manage your stop when placing a trade. Hey guys, if this is your first time watching this video, welcome. For those of you who are frequent viewers, let's jump right into the market. As in any given day, it's always good at the end of the day to review your best and worst trades, to learn from them and see what you can do better tomorrow. Let's take a look at the economic data for today. A whole host of price action, including T-bills here, and looking at Philly Fed this morning, jobless claims, consumer price index. A lot of news all over the place as we've had FOMC this week, economics, and quad witching tomorrow as we expire 4 of the markets here as we roll out the quarter and move into the half session of the year. Half of the year almost gone. Price action also leading into next week, with unfortunate news today on the Brexit, as a parliamentarian in England was shot and killed, and therefore market action right now holding off. You would think would be holding off till next week, but regardless what it was, what a day on the market. Let's jump right in. It was Thursday today. 3 markets, 3 setups with 174 ticks. Boy, could have done a lot better than that, but pretty much after that first move down, that was pretty much where I called it. There were good signs that the market was turning around, but decided to sit that out. Not a bad week, but as price action did move down there on 4 charts in the red underneath the T3 moving averages to the downside, all 3 going all the way down to the fib projection levels. What a move down on all 4 charts in the red, and bouncing back up. That's right, the trend change finally after the move down. There it was, the move down to the downside. T3 moving averages, not like yesterday's move where price action, we rolled on 2 contracts. Here, market open, took what, 3-4 minutes. Market took action, price down. Take 1 contract off, ride it as far as you could, and where are we going? Again, we're going right to the fib projection level. Why I'm running a little bit past, and as we saw, finally bouncing back out. The question at this point in the market was, is this the last? Is this it? Or are we coming back down? Hey, who's to know? But waiting for additional confirmation to the upside is all you needed. So there it was, one heck of a move to the downside. After that, pretty much 51.44 held the technical momentum to the downside. That's what also kept you in the trend, including the Heiken Ashi bars. It didn't take long for the market to turn around, so there you had your price action on the greens, bouncing back upside, finding those lows on the fib projection level, and back to the upside she went, all the way up to where? To the other fib projection level on the other side. Very nice, pulling back up to the midnight opens and just finishing up slightly above this, both on the YM and the ES. Taking a look at some other trending charts here. It was a nice move on the crude also today. Sell signal downside on all 4 charts in the red with the 51.44. Couldn't make a better pairing there to the downside, as well as the gold. What a move on gold today as price action on its lift in the morning says. We'll take a look at a little bit longer chart here, but that was the best of trends for the day. Again, all these little T3 moves back on the pullbacks just offered you a re-opportunity. You don't go counter trend, you stay in the trend under T350 here. A little bit of reject there and back to the downside. What a nice day on the gold. All right, let's jump right into the AD line as we see yesterday's price action on the AD line. Almost a reverse here. Price action lifted yesterday at the market open and pretty much held out the remainder of the day. Today, a total opposite move as price action came down. You saw that move to the downside. They hit those fib projection levels. AD line coming underneath 750 and then gradually making its way up here, pulling back ever so slightly, and then all the way back up to AD line 0 there at the tops. All right, let's jump right into the 5-minute charts. Any significance here? Crude finding some resistance after coming down on that nice move that we just saw there on the crossover on the range charts. Crude holding here at the cam line resistance and 1 hour open range low, and coming down to finish around in the zone of today's low. Taking a look at the ES finding that move down, price action finding that support around the average low zone, including the 25-minute open range. And it was all upside there, finding some resistance here at the daily gap, and then even pushing a little bit higher to the daily pivot. YM again, similar picture here, finishing around downside move at the initial get-go, 25-minute open range low, coming up, finding some support here around the Globex low, Globex high and daily gap, pushing up to the cam high, as well as the NQ again, finding a little bit of resistance here at the 25-minute open range high after a low down here underneath the range, and pushing upside once again above the daily gap. Remember, yesterday's price action was downside last 20 minutes of the market. Of course, overnight session seems to have followed through nicely, but then all it took was a little downtrend this morning, and bang, back to the upside we went. All right, let's take a look at the fib projection levels. We already mentioned those. Daily fib levels both hit in both directions. That's 4 out of 4 days. Nice move to the downside. Again, we saw that both on the 5-minute chart. We saw that on the initial range charts on that wonderful move to the downside. There's our target low. There's our target high. Both sides move and beyond. So not that it's a not that it's a line in the sand and price action is not going to move beyond it, but makes for nice trading as far as picking targets if you're looking for one. Let's take a look at the daily trend chart. Let's jump right into that, starting with the crude here. Price action again, as we mentioned, best of best setups. Here we are, sell signal downside here around 9:35, about 35 minutes past the crude open. Couple of entries prior, but there it was, 4 charts in the red as crude continues to move down from its high of 51, 50 below 144. An additional trend, that's chart number 4 here at the bottom. Can't go wrong on 4 charts. Well, you can go wrong. Sometimes it just doesn't work out, and you got to manage your trade. 10% of the strategy, it's the other 90%. You got to learn how to manage those trades and learn how to take those contracts off, or when you got 4 charts, you let it run and place your stop and break even. You get a winner, you get a winner. If you don't, at least you're stopped out and you didn't lose too much. All right, and the rest of the session pretty much tried to make a run above the T3 moving average. Here you had some hope here on 3 charts in the green here, buy signal to the upside as it started to move above the T3 moving average and just did not managed to get that steam going here at about what was that, 139. Again, 50 just sitting on top of the 144, not really able to get going, so you might have just held off on the crude in the afternoon. All right, let's jump into the YM. Look at the 3 indices here. Again, we mentioned there was that overnight session just plowing down to the downside after yesterday's close, and then price action on the first move out of the gate to the downside. Let's go ahead and expand that so you can see what I'm looking at. There it is, sell signal to the downside. That was pre-market, and then there you go, bang. Solid body tail down on the Heikin Ashi bar, 4 charts in the red, put you to the downside. There was that pullback that we showed after that nice move down, pull back. Tries to make another run at it and then break above the T3 moving average, wait for the pullback, and bang, at least 3 to 4 charts in the green to the upside. A little bit of chop. We actually, interesting chop here. We chopped within a zone of both the fib projection level and the midnight open. So really a gap here, and then bang, back to the upside on the YM. By this point, if you had made your ticks for the day, you might have just said, hey, that was enough for me today. 50 above 144 for the majority of the session. It was only up until about the European close that market action pretty much stayed in that downtrend on the 50 144. Take a look at the NQ. I think you're going to see the same picture as we saw all around. Again, nice move to the downside on the, let's go ahead and expand that. There it is. There's that move down on the morning session, AM session. There with T3 moving averages crossing over underneath the T350, 3 to 4 charts in the red. Again, you had a nice little pullback here and back down. Where did we hit? Don't forget, we hit those fib levels. That's exactly where we went. Went to a little bit of fib level, a little bit target down, and then back upside. Again, 3 charts here in the green. Not a bad move to begin. You probably was taken out of that stop if you moved your stop to break even, but there it is again. 2 to 3 charts back in the green. Another resurgence. Again, we chopped here, and then a little bit challenging here until price action maybe lifted here and there towards the end. Again, by this point, running real thin on the profile, and you might have just decided, hey, that was enough. I am out for the remainder of the session. But as you can see on the YM, 50 held above the 144. Not too shabby. Let's take a look at the ES here. Last third index here, as we saw, same picture here on the ES for all you ES traders. There we go. Price action to the downside on 4 charts. Very nice move. And then there it is, the pop on prior to European close. A little bit of downslide and then move up. Same chop that we saw in the rest of the indices. Buy signal here again. 3 charts in the green. Not a bad, little riskier. Wait for the pullback. There was your better entry as it moved. And then if you were able to manage this without being stopped out, you were able to push it to the end there. Not a bad trend. But again, by that point, we were drying up there on the volume profile. As we mentioned before, gold. Look at that nice gold move down to the downside. Again, there it was Let's go back a little bit. There was gold yesterday with a nice move to the upside, and then a little bit of hesitation there this morning on gold as it chopped itself way through, and then bang to the downside. Even after it closed out, continued to push down on the T3 moving averages underneath. So very nice setups here. Gold standard setups. All you had to do is wait for the pullback, sell signal downside. Again, these bars are spaced out enough that you were able to get a nice entry. Take a look at again, the 5144 was all technical momentum. That's chart number 4 to the bottom, giving you and keeping you in the trend. Let's take a look at the wrap it up here with the 6E. 6E again, nice move to the upside together with the other indices. T3 moving averages crossing above with 2 charts in the green. Again, if you missed that trade, you could have gotten in on the soft pullback here on 2 bars in the red, giving you a little bit of price action upside. Again, the remainder of the session, 50 still above the 144. You can see down here as price action held to the upside. Let's take a look at the daily gaps. How did we do today? We already closed out some daily gaps around YM this week as NQ also moving its way down. Still open gaps to the upside, but it was the ES closing out. That's right, 52.75. There was yesterday's close. We came down, managed to tag it out. Nice move on the ES to the downside, closing out those daily gaps. I know. 100% guarantee of closing out daily gaps, and I get tweets and posts that say, no, daily gaps aren't getting closed out. Well, there we are. We continue to close those gaps out. Price action also on the crude, so the 2 on the bottom there, 46.43. We can go ahead, dash that, and close that out for tomorrow's session. Do we have open gaps above? Absolutely. Do we have open gaps below? Absolutely. Been watching my video series. You'll see all you got to do is take a look downside. There it is, 1860.75. We do have them downside on all the 3 major indices here, including to the top. So what's going to keep us going in that direction? Well, we'll see here in a moment. Where is the probability lie? Let's take a look at the volume profile. Again, you can see the volume profile a little bit thin at the tops here. ES managing to move its daily VPOC up, but unable to close out yesterday's VPOC. 70% of today's range here between the 2 VPOCs. A little bit thin on the bottom, not a bad profile, but there it is. Very weak on the bottom on the YM, very weak on the bottom on the NQ. Very thin on the top as we close it out near the highs. But 600-day VPOC shifting on the ES now up here at YM 17,630. VPOCs all around remain the same, and the crude, which we know moved up this week to 48.30 and closing out the VPOC down below. All right, looking ahead, what can we look for tomorrow? Again, tomorrow's quad witching. Doesn't mean you need to sit out. We've had some nice quad witching days. Just a matter of, hey, where's the market going to go tomorrow? Take a look at the crude. Do we continue to head down and close out those gaps down below, or do we find some support? Well, we found that 50 MA support here today with some good volume. 200 MA below, look for those levels. Again, daily, come back to the daily gap as we do each day. We have a level down here at 40.24. So where does that line up with the daily big pick? Well, you got a line level here at former fib level, 41.68, which is just below the 200 MA. So if we come down, we will definitely find some support here. If we're to go down any further, well, we got some open gaps down below as well. But right now, 50, as long as that 50 is above the 144, we got ourselves an upwards trend, 50 above 144. But T3 moving averages, solid Heikin-Ashi bars tails down, continue that trend to the downside. Taking a look at the T3 moving averages across the board here on the 3 major indices as we see price action on for today's session on a pullback. We've really been in a downtrend for some time, but you ask yourself, why did we bounce right here? Well, take a look at all the way across. That's right. Ain't that a beaut right there? Take a look at the lows, and all you got to do is go back a little bit in time, and there we go, back to May 24th. Actually, for about a week there, we found some support at this level, bounced up, and once again, the market found some support there and bounced back up. Whether we continue upside, look for that 51.44. Always be ready both ways, both directions in an intraday, but right now, current trend is shifted to the downside as we did find some support. Look for the Heikin Ashi bar, solid body tail down to continue the trend. All you need to do is see the trend back downside as you do on these candles, and this trend will continue to the downside. Right now in a pullback, we'll want to see if we have resistance here for the longer term. Again, price action back inside the 50 and the 200 with well above average volume today. So looking ahead to tomorrow, you always got to be ready in both directions, but just looking at the trend right now, we are at a confirmed 4-hour trend downside with a pullback. Watch for the 51.44s. Watch for the follow on the night through. Watch for the follow-through on night price action. Also watch quad witching. But you all know we're heading into Brexit next week, which makes a lot of volatility all around. So what is it that keeps us out of possibly entering some bad trades or hopefully false entries? Well, one thing we put up today are the multiple time frames on our bars here. Let me go ahead and show you a little something we've been playing around with. Again, like anybody who's trading with multiple time frames, whether it's 5-minute, 10-minute, 15-minute, or pairing up 15 with 30 and 60. We also use the same thing here on the T3 moving averages, or at least the T350s. Here we can see a great example today on the ES is price action down. We got to go back some time here. There we go. Back on the T3 moving averages, back where we have possible entry on a smaller time frame, matching it up with a little bit of a higher time frame, see where we are on the highest time frame. You get a golden entry, maybe perhaps 3 to 4 charts in the green. T3 moving averages give you the signal you're above the 50. Maybe you wait for the pullback. So where is a better entry? Well, we saw that on the charts today. So here we go. We bounce off the T350. We have a buy signal back upside. We take a look here. T3 moving averages are upside. T3 moving averages are upside. We got price action well above the 51.44 and finding support. We take the entry long and we stay in it for the remainder of the trend. Whether you're looking for a couple ticks or whether to ride it, either way, HA bars together with multiple time frames could keep you in the trade. For current members in the room, these charts are available in the share drive. All right, taking a look ahead at tomorrow, economic data. Again, quad witching is up as we head into next week. Be ready for the Brexit, as there seems to be quite a lot of emotion around the decision or the vote that the English will be taking in the next week. All right, that concludes an insight into the daily trend. Feel free to stop by at tradingfibs.com or any of my social media outlets to obtain more information. My mantra of one simple strategy: any market, any chart, any time frame will keep you disciplined. You can find me every day on Twitter at TradingFibs. And as always, I leave the crystal ball to the experts. I only trade what's in front of me and on my charts. And as always, leave your bias at the door when trading. Hey guys, have yourselves a Blue Zone day, good night, and to tomorrow, quad witching, good trading.